Good morning, America. This is Jonathan Arias from the Onyx Group and Buy It, Rent It, Profit Education. So, just yesterday, we were retained by a landlord, and I was telling him about the services that we were going to provide him. And I told him we're going to do the legal services, send out the notices, and file a complaint if need be. But I also told him that from now on, after he retained us, we were going to be the ones who engaged with his tenant. He was no longer going to engage with his tenant. If his tenant called him, it was his responsibility to say, hey, I've retained a lawyer, and now all communication will go through him. This is very important because there are sometimes landlords who can be vulnerable. I've had plenty of old elderly landlords. I've had landlords that have medical issues. I've had instances in which the landlord lives very close to the tenant, and those situations can present problems. And so my suggestion to landlords today is, once you get a sense that this individual is not going to pay, or they're not complying, or they're belligerent or causing any type of issues, you need to call us. You need to go to the onyxgrouplegal.com and reach out to us, get a free consultation, and find out, hey, what is your assessment, Jonathan, of this situation? Because I've seen these situations over and over and over, and I could tell when a situation may be volatile or not. So in this particular case, a Florida man actually fatally shot a landlord who was trying to evict him. Now, let me, just like with all the articles I do, I have to kind of dig into the details a little bit. So this individual, they say he was trying to evict him, but it was in fact probably an illegal eviction, meaning that this individual had not gone through court yet, because the only entity that can evict somebody legally is a sheriff in the state of Florida after they get a final judgment and a writ of possession. So what happened here, it appears that this individual the landlord had a conversation with the tenant. Tenant said no. He came back, and we had the problem that we had. So this was a couple weeks ago in Sanford, Florida. This is about 30 minutes outside of Orlando in Seminole County. A Sanford man was arrested Thursday after police said he shot two men, killing one who were trying to evict him from his home. The Sanford Police Department said they arrested 51-year-old Andre Christ on first-degree murder and attempted murder charges. So right off the bat, right here, they were trying to evict him from his home. So they were not, and I say all this respectfully because somebody lost their life. So I'm not coming for them in a way that's disrespectful. I'm just trying to avoid this situation from happening to you in the future, right? So they were trying to evict him from his home. Like I said before, they were probably like, hey, you need to go. You need to go right now. You're not paying rent. You need to go. Arguments ensued, and that's when we had a problem. Versus saying, okay, this is going to cost me some money. It's going to take longer, but I'm going to preserve my health, my sanity, and even my life in this case. That's probably what happened here. According to police, they received a 911 call around 9:58 a.m. for a possible shooting at a home. When officers arrived, they said they found a victim identified as 38-year-old Cliff Perard dead in the backyard of the house from an apparent gunshot wound. They also found a second victim in the front yard of a house across the street suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. SPD, Seminole Police Department, said it appeared Perard was trying to evict Chris from the home. Their investigation found an argument started, and that's when Chris shot the two men and ran. Police said they found Chris and arrested him without incident later that same day. So again, here there are two people. So it appears it's like the landlord was like, hey, homeboy, this situation could be volatile. I need you to back me up. And this tenant appeared threatened and was like, nah, you ain't gonna get me out of here. And maybe there were threats and like, we're gonna beat you up. And so he said, hey, I'm going to shoot you guys. And that brings me back to my original point is we engage with the tenant after you retain us. That's it. So once things are in court, then they definitely can't reach out to you. So for example, if somebody else is represented by an attorney, I cannot reach out to that plaintiff or that defendant. I have to go attorney to attorney. In this case, with even if the person is unrepresented, they're pro se, they should be dealing with me. And that layer of protection can mean all the difference between you going home and seeing your kids that night. So that's one of the advantages of hiring a multifamily landlord attorney and not trying to do this thing yourself. Because in addition to that, yesterday when I was speaking to this landlord, he was telling me that the tenant was telling him all sorts of things, and he didn't know if that was true or not. He didn't know what to believe. Whereas I could hear that stuff and say, all right, yeah, keep talking. That's BS, because I know the law. So that layer of protection and assurance is very important. All right. This is a very, very tragic situation. Not trying to make light of it, not trying to be disrespectful, but it's important that we learn from things that happen. So I would love to represent you. Please reach out, thehonestgrouplegal.com. If you have any questions, any concerns with a tenant who could be dangerous or is behind on rent or is somehow non-compliant with the lease, I would love to give you a free consultation, hear you out, and advise you accordingly. All right, thehonestgrouplegal.com, or you can find us also additional resources at buyerrentandprofit.com. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. God bless you.